say that. I'm sipping wine in a robe. I look too good to be alone. My house clean, my pool warm. Just shake smooth like a newborn. We should be dancing, romancing in the east wing and the west wing of this mansion. What's happening? I am playing no games. Everyone that I say is coming straight from the heart. So if you're trying to lay these on, I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open, girl. I'ma leave the door open. Let you feel the way I feel when you want me like I want you tonight, baby. Tell me that you're coming through. You're so sweet, so tight, so I won't bite unless you like. If you smoke, I got the hate. And if you're hungry, girl, I got the lay. Ooh, baby, don't keep me waiting. There's so much love we could be making. I'm talking kissing, cuddling, rose petals in the bathtub. Girl, let's jump in, it's rolling. I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. So if you're trying to lay these on, I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open, girl. I'ma leave the door open. Let you feel the way I feel, and you want me like you want you tonight. Tell me that you're coming through. I need you, baby. I got to see you, baby. Girl, I'm trying to give you this. I'ma leave my door open. Tell me that you're coming through. Hello! How are you guys tonight? We are practicing proper protocol tonight according to the CDC with covering our mask and our nose according to what's going on. How's everybody doing today? Everybody okay? Welcome and join us for Love Talk Live. We're just joking. We're just wearing these masks. It's a part of our show. Okay? All right. Not a part of the show?
No, I'm practicing social distancing.
Well, we're not practicing social distancing. We 6 feet within. We within the 6 feet. We practicing using, protective masks, protective gear. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna get started. Welcome to Love Talk Live. I am Lady D, and this is my wonderful husband, also known as 3D, and we are gonna answer relationship questions live today. Are you guys ready? Oh, we are so ready for this tonight. This is part of our attire and gear.
Why are you looking like that?
They can't see how I look.
Oh, they can't see how you look. That's kind of part of the message.
It is.
It's part of the message, the mask that we wear in relationships, right? You can only see our eyes, maybe a little bit of our mouths, but this is why we want to do this series with you all. We want you guys to unveil the mask and what's behind who you really are in your relationships. So join us as we take you along this journey of Love Talk Live. Are we ready?
We're ready.
We're ready? You gonna keep the mask on?
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna
because
keep
that's
his.
how it works a lot of times in relationship.
I can't hear you.
I said that's how it works a lot of times in relationship.
Absolutely. So we would like our live audience to just jump on and start sharing your comments. We're going to start with our first online person. Let's get them on Love Admin and let's bring them on.
Hello. Hello, hello. Okay, guys, thanks for having me. I'm Shantae. I had a question. I am getting back into the dating arena, and in the past, I've done dating wrong. You know, going into dating, looking for relations, like, you know, is this my husband versus enjoying the process. So my question is, as you're kind of going through the dating process, is it ever a right time to do the Netflix and chill type date? Just curious. Uh-oh, can't hear you. All right.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you.
Okay, did they hear the beginning at all?
Now that's the question. We heard everything that you guys said
Okay.
before. We
All
heard
right.
all of that. I'm not sure
Just
if
your
they heard my
question.
question.
Yeah, why don't you ask your question again?
Okay, so my question is there ever a right time to, you know, when you're, I guess, not even a right time, but as you're beginning the process of dating, should you do the Netflix and chill type dates?
Well, it depends on your relationship with that person. One of the things we've talked about is trying to do right and not allowing yourself to get tempted. And so, if that's kind of your vein of the Netflix and chill, then you have to be cautious of that you don't put yourself in a predicament that you don't want to be in, because Netflix and chill means just that. Netflix and chill. You're at someone's house, you're on someone's couch, you're on someone's bed, you're in someone's environment, whether it's yours or his. You have to kind of figure that part out, you know, independently of the person. Now, is it someone that you have to make sure that's a person you want at your house, or you want to be at that person's house? Because that's more intimacy. Intimacy doesn't equal sex all the time, but it's still it's an intimate relationship. It's an intimate moment that you're spending with that person. Netflix and chill is not just being a cheap date. That's a gateway. That's a gateway to other stuff. Let's be real. because it's in your own environment. It's different than going out. It's different than hanging with other people. So I would be cautious depending on your relationship with that person. If it's someone that you have a good relationship with and you're comfortable and you're safe, and they're safe for you, absolutely. But you got to take caution with that. What do you think?
I think that was a very good answer.
I can't hear you. You have your mask on,
Can you
and
hear
I
me?
can't hear what you are saying.
Can you hear me?
I
They
can hear
can't
you. Just a little
respond
muffled.
because they can't see you.
I mean,
You
just
sound
because
a little muffled, 3D.
all right, just because you're in chill mode doesn't mean you really even know who the person is yet. Um, and so, a lot of times, even in those environments, who the person really is, you don't know. And how you find out what a person really is about is when you say no.
Ooh.
When you say no, and when you set those parameters, because the reality is that the next level of relationship is never sex. Uh, the next level of relationship is intimacy, and so intimacy goes beyond sex. And so sometimes when it's that time of month for you and that moment for him, now I just said something. When it's that time of month for you and that moment from him, then you're more apt to unconsciously and consciously want to be in chill mode.
Mm-hmm.
But the next level of relationship is not sex, but it's intimacy. And sometimes we mix the two together. And so sometimes they'll go along with the program and you still won't know who they are because at the end of the day, hormones are taking over when your heart and love should take over.
There goes that math.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys.
Thanks, Shantae.
Thank you.
And that's one of the things that we're talking about is that mask. Taking the mask off. So often people are in chill mode or whatnot, but they're lying and they're being deceitful and deceptive to one another because their mask is constantly on. And one of the things that you said was until someone tells you no or until they say no, everything is good. Everything is great.
And at the end of the day, sometimes with people that's in church.
Oh, let's talk about the church.
Sometimes
folks.
people that's in church are the most unrealistic and non-truthful people. So they have to consciously put themselves in situations to get what their flesh need or what they need as a person. I didn't even want to call it flesh, to get what you need as a person. Yeah. Instead of saying, this is what I need. This is what I need. This is what I want. Yes. And then when you do it that way, you don't have to unconsciously set yourself up for failure because you're using truth as your guide and your mechanism of decision making. Another thing is that, and I said I wasn't going to talk because she's making me do this, y'all. I'm under duress. She has a knife like behind the couch.
You know what? You shouldn't be lying on camera.
Okay. And so I'm doing this under duress. And so at the end of the day, a lot of times I would say now because of the mental and emotional state of people, sometimes you don't even know if a person is really crazy, for real, man.
You don't let anybody come to your house to watch Netflix.
Listen. I mean, real talk, y'all. Real talk.
I didn't have Netflix and chilling when I was dating. We didn't have Netflix and chill time.
Listen. So nowadays, man, I think before I would chill with somebody, and I'm gonna leave this question where it is. I would bring them around family, friends. Let us chill around family. Let us chill around friends. Let somebody else that has a discernment, because a lot of times it's harder for us to discern people when we're either lonely, wanting, or sexual. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times it's easier for other people to discern what you cannot see because you're in the midst of it.
If you want them to discern that is.
Right.
Because some people want that and they don't bring them around the people that can help and discern because they want to keep their mask on. It's the truth. We're going to be honest here. All right, let's get some of these live questions going. Do we have any members of our live audience that would like to ask us a question?
Oh, Lord.
I believe it says, should I feel bad if I don't express how I really feel about my husband? Just trying to spare his feelings.
Okay, listen. Now, she can't answer that one. That has to come from a man. She can answer the other side of the question of...
She wasn't asking. She was asking us.
Right. The other side. But real talk is... real talk. Is this Love Talk Real Talk?
It is Love Talk Live. Real talk. Real talk. Be real.
Okay, real talk.
Real talk.
Okay. You say real talk?
I said real talk.
What happens is this. This is what happens. I can use myself.
Yeah. Good example.
I remember a time in our relationship when I thought I was the stuff. No, I thought I was the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was a catch, and other people wanted to catch me.
Now, that is the truth, though. That's the truth.
No, this is the truth.
It's the truth. But I'm putting my mask back on.
And so I remember God talking to me and telling me about me. And told me to ask her how she really feel about me.
Take this mask off. Let me take this mask off.
Because a Negro will be feeling himself. And she ain't feeling it at all. And what happens is that when a woman cannot express who she is, she's like a rose that dries up. And so sometimes you're doing your husband a misservice and a misjustice when you ain't telling that Negro how you really feel. Because you'll have other people telling him that he's this or that, and they don't live with him. But the last thing my wife said, and this is real personal.
Let's clarify Negro to people, because it doesn't mean just a black person.
No, Negro means, you know what I mean.
Well, they don't.
Well, Negro means a Negro, not black.
Just
that means a male that's feeling himself.
That's his vernacular. So I want to make
That's
sure.
my vernacular.
Okay.
Because we have
cultural
and ethnic groups on here.
We don't offend anybody.
They won't be offended.
They won't.
No.
Go ahead.
Thank you. And so God got on me because I did not allow her to say how she was feeling about me. And so when she told me how she felt about me, because a lot of times we see ourselves from a skewed vision and point of view, especially from people that don't live in our houses.
That's real talk.
And so when she was able to tell me how she felt, it caused me to change and become a better husband. Sometimes people don't become better because they already think they're good enough. And what she had to learn is how to say it without destroying my ego. Because every man has an ego. And so she had to learn how to say what she needed to say, But then I had to make it okay for her to say it. Because anytime you cannot say how you really feel, right or wrong, you walk around that person.
Oh, we answered your question, Tyann.
Ask your point.
I agree. One of the things I will say, I think you said it, but I'll just add it because you asked me to. Ladies, it's important for you to pay attention to not just what you're saying, but how you're saying what you're saying. We're not always taught that. We're taught to be independent. Black women, say how you feel. Independent this, independent that, blah, 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 blah. But sometimes we're just fools, right? And I say we because I'm a woman. And we just don't know how to say things, or we need to learn to just shut up and then just wait until it's an opportune time to say what you need to say. It's all about how you say what you say. I could tell my husband a lot of things now that I couldn't have told him 5 years ago because of the maturity and the wisdom and understanding he's still a man. And that I just can't talk to him any kind of way. Just as I wouldn't talk to any other man any kind of way, I can't talk to my husband any kind of way. And we have to learn that. You learn that not when you get married. You learn that before and you grow in marriage. Getting married is not this mysterious miracle that happens and all of a sudden your communication skills aren't good. If you're not having appropriate communication skills before you get married, guess what? You're not going to have them when you get married. And it's not always the other person. And so if it's always you can't talk, like you said, you have to look at yourself. And how are you repelling him?
And there is a difference between, I tell people this, a woman needs celebration, a man needs honor. And so, and they're not the same.
They're not at all.
And so a lot of times you have to know how to, a lot of times we as men, we look strong on the outside, but on the inside we're broken, we're this, we're that. And so when your wife has to walk on eggshells, that literally means that there's a part of you that has not matured yet for your rib to stay in the right place. Because when you cannot talk and you cannot converse, it puts a wedge in both of you all mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you lose your oneness. A relationship and everything is really about oneness. And that's what we're not taught.
No.
And so I had to submit to her. And she learned to submit to me. And a lot of times men want the woman to submit to them, but they don't want to submit to the woman. And so a lot of times what I had to learn was I had to submit first.
And that was trust for me.
And that was trust.
Trust. That I could trust him with me. I could trust him with my feelings. I could trust him with my essence. And when he submitted, it made me submit even more and love him and honor him the more because there's a trust that was built. And so that's important. And it doesn't matter how long you're married. I know people that have been married for years and years and years, and they are miserable because they don't know how to effectively communicate with one another. So.
And sometimes she still want to punch me. We was in Jamaica. I flipped her upside down.
What are you telling me?
She hit me in the chest.
Okay.
I flipped her. It was funny though.
No,
it was funny on my part as a husband.
Funny. It wasn't. Okay, so wait, no. Hey Farrah, no. Let's tell the story. Let's tell the real story. So we were with 5 other couples.
It was
older
more than
and young.
that.
No, in our group it was like 5 because it was like 12 of us.
But I'm mischievous.
Listen to the story, y'all. Okay? We were with 5 other couples. We're going up the waterfalls, trucking up waterfalls, got water shoes on, everything. We get to a point in this beautiful atmosphere that we have, and all the other couples, they're taking these pictures with each other and they're kissing and doing this.
He wasn't kissing.
They did. They took pictures like they did. Okay. So our tour guide's like, yeah, get her, you know. So he lifts me up. And he lifts me, and I'm like, oh, now, that's so cute. No, listen, no, I'm telling them.
But you were a little lighter than all the other ones.
Well, that is true. What he was doing was showing off because I was the smallest, and he could actually lift me above his shoulders. Kudos to you. Mm-hmm. But then, instead of him kissing me, he dumps me over his back. I fall in the waterfall. I hit my knee and scrape it, and I'm limping and bleeding the rest of the trip. Am I lying? Say I'm lying.
She wasn't limping. But she was bleeding, though.
The whole rest of the trip.
That's what happened.
Because he was being macho man.
That's what happened when you born on 7 Mile carnage, you know. You never follow the pack.
Yes, so they were cracking up.
But she hit me so hard.
Out of just, I just did just like that.
Do that again. See how fast she is? See that?
That's what I did.
See that?
What?
Do that again. See that?
That's what I did right in his chest.
Right in my chest.
It was that quick. It was that quick. It was affection.
It was.
It was affection. And they looked at us like we were cuckoo bananas. But literally that's what happened.
It was so hilarious.
They all laughed. They all laughed at me. Every single person was laughing. What can I do? Anyway.
And the reason I brought that up
is
that a lot of times people can dish it, but they can't take it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
A lot of times people can throw the blow.
I got you.
They can throw the punch.
Yeah.
But get upset when you punch them back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was funny at the time. What kind of affection, Juwan? It was immediate gratification affection.
It was.
That's what that was. Immediate. It was just a boom.
I got her, she got me in a split second.
And there was no delay.
So both of us ended up in pain. Listen, both of us ended up in pain. I said, you could have hit the fat part, the meaty part. She hit me right in the center. And so I think that's a good point too. Because a lot of times, someone can give you pain, but don't like when you give them pain in return as a result of what they do to you.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what makes marriage and relationships unfair.
Yeah. And the other part I want to add is that we don't wait. There's no meditation on it.
No.
It's a boom, just like I jabbed it.
You know, that's a good point.
We don't hold on to things. So that was my way of letting it go in the moment.
She let it go the moment.
I couldn't hold it. I was so
I couldn't stop it anyway. She hit me so quick. That's a good point. That is a very good point.
And after it happened,
in the moment
when it happened,
she let that anger go.
I let it out right then and there. I didn't break a nail or anything. I didn't crack a rib.
Did you
I didn't crack a rib. Okay. They laughed because I was the smallest person in there.
She hit me so quick and hard, y'all. It was so funny.
I learned, got the moves.
Yeah.
But anyway, like Jagger. So we have another guest. Let's bring our next guest on and get these questions going. You're funny. Who do we have? Hey, Miss April.
April, hey. Like that.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
I am good.
All right, this is gonna be a good one.
No, we gotta put our mask on.
I'm gonna have to put my mask on.
Hold on. We gotta start with the mask and then unveil them. Okay.
So my question is, how do I know if a guy wants me for me or what I have to offer, or are these two one and the same?
You the guy?
Okay. Now she wants me to answer this.
Take the mask off.
Okay. A guy doesn't. Let me say this because I just had it. And at the end of the day, a guy can't want you for you until he get to know you. And so you can be kind. You can, even though this is not your personality, give him gas money, pay a bill, be their captain, saver, whatever. And I can't say the other part. And so you can be all those things, which you're really taking the place of his mother, or the non-support from a father or other family members. And so you can support him and do for him, but he never know you. And so until a person knows who you are, then you'll never know if they want you. And so most of the time, when we're in relationship, this is what we're doing.
Real talk. Love Talk Live. Real talk. It's the truth.
This is what we're doing. And so to answer your question, this is going to sound real stupid. This is going to sound so dumb. But I think in relationship, we shouldn't show people our best.
I agree.
We should show people who we really are. As retarded and crazy and no, I'm being serious. We always show people the best to entrap them and to entangle them. That's why you shouldn't put sex in your sexual organ and pleasure and orgasms before relationship. Because you'll think that as good as it is in a bed is as good as it is in life. And those two different things.
Say it.
And so I really think we should show people who we are. I love this. She asked me to answer this and she pushed me because I said I wasn't going to say nothing. In the Garden of Eden, what Adam and Adam had, and then Adam who became Eve had, they were naked. In most relationships, we never show our nakedness. We never show it. We never show who we really are. And I'm not talking about because most people are so used to drama that they want a dramified nigga. They want a dramified person. Sorry about that. Oh, Lord. Y'all forgive what I just said. Negro, a man, or whatever. Okay, I messed that up. But you feel my heart. And so a lot of times they want drama, so they get somebody to give them drama, and you never really know who the person is. And so I would say, this is what I would say. You never know what a person wants from you until you don't give them what they want.
Yeah.
And in real relationship, baby, it's not about what you get. It's about what you give up. And it can't be one person giving it up.
Yes.
Now that's some real talk right there.
Yes, sir. 3D.
What you got to say?
I agree. That's what I got to say. I agree. I think as women, we are taught the wrong things. We are modeled the wrong things. We try to be, and I'm gonna say it, Captain Save a Hoe. Men are hoes too. I'm sorry, it's the truth. And we try to do everything we can to get that man. We're going to look the best. We're going to drive the best. He's going to drive our car. He's going to have the keys to our car. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. All this type of stuff. And then you get upset because you give him everything. And then he goes off to another woman. Anybody else been there? Been there, done that. Right? And so we give him too much. We give too much of ourselves to men too soon. We don't give them the opportunity to woo us. We don't give them the opportunity to court us. We have no delayed gratification anymore. Ooh. We are supposed to be ladies. That doesn't mean that you're perfect, but you're supposed to be a lady. Ooh. I didn't get with him because I was a hoe. Come on, y'all. I was giving him what the other one weren't. He wasn't getting all of me. He was getting the portions that I allowed him because he could sleep with anybody he wanted to. That wasn't me. And a lot of times that's what women do. They give too much and then they get upset after 30 or 60 days. Well, why doesn't he like me? Why doesn't he love me? Why am I not wifey? Why am I the side chick? Well, come on. What do you mean? What does he have to look forward to if you're giving him everything? What does he have to look forward to? So I think it is important. Women, whatever you were taught, you were probably taught wrong. Maybe not everybody, but you have to have standards, April. And you have standards, and you don't let your standards down because some man gives you attention. He buys you some flowers. He takes you out one time to a good restaurant. Let him be consistent for you. And tell him, no, I am not available. Even if you were sitting at home watching Netflix and chilling by yourself. He don't need to know that. Give him something to work towards. I guarantee he stays along a lot longer than the men you kind of cater to. You're not his mama. You're not his mama. So we can't be, who wants to sleep with their mama? That's just, so you can't be the mama today. I need you to take out trash, I need you to this, and then you want to be intimate and have sex and be a nasty girl the next day. That doesn't work. So we have to learn these things. And this is why these talks are important. It's real. We're not sugarcoating anything. We're not apologizing for being real. If you don't like it, you just don't like it. That's for the general audience. But we want people to learn. We want people to realize what you do have. You are a diamond. You are worthy. Everybody doesn't get your cookies in your cookie jar, ladies.
What is that?
The cookies.
The cookies.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you some later.
Like the Cookie Monster. Okay.
You the Cookie Monster.
I
got cookies. Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry, April. But hope I answered your question. Hope we answered your question. But yes.
And one more thing is this. One more thing is this. If you have a bank account, or you have investment, you can't put money in the investment and then in 30 days or 60 days say, I want my money back. They have 90-day CDs. They say you have to put money in for 90 days, 120 days before you can get your 2% profit. Now, why in the
hell
do women allow a man to make no investment?
No investment.
And reap dividends right away?
Don't get it.
Watch this. It is better to give less and the person walk away.
Yes.
Than to give more hoping that he's going to stay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because now you have to put it on a scale. And that's why a lot of women be trying to kill people. Because you lied to me, told me all these stories and said all this stuff and you got my time, my money, and my cookies.
All in 30 days.
No, 2 days.
Well, that's why they want to Netflix and chill.
2 days.
That's why. It's not because they don't have no money. They want to see how they can push you and how quickly they can get it from you and then move on to the next person. That's all game, ladies. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it.
Can I tell y'all some secrets? No, I'm going to tell you some secrets.
What secrets?
I'm going to tell you 2 secrets. I tell other people this. I'm going to tell you 2 secrets. No, these are secrets. Number one.
You better be writing these down. Ladies.
You always get more when you give less.
Oh. Yes.
That's number 1. And number 2 is this. What you give a person determines how you care about them. You only know how a person cares about you by what they give you.
Yeah.
And sometimes women like to be in such control
Yes.
and so independent
Yes.
that you don't give the man an opportunity to give you something beside his sexual organ.
Real talk.
Did we answer your question? So people
Yes,
really. All right, thank you. I'm gonna shut
Thank
up.
you, April.
thank you.
You're not gonna shut up. We still gotta keep going. You done talking?
This that.
Oh, can we have the last question come back on there from our live audience?
see,
Thank you guys so much. We can't read all of them as quickly as they're coming, so if we can get that last question back out there, we can read it from one of our audience members. Are you guys enjoying? Please let us know. We don't know. We can't see anybody. We can't look at our phones the whole time. So if you're enjoying, please let us know that you're enjoying it, what you're getting out of it. Why is honesty so important in marriage?
Ooh. You want to answer this? Or you want me to answer it first always? Do I have to be the guinea pig every day?
Why is honesty so important in marriage?
Let me answer this first. Let me answer this first.
You're going to answer? Okay.
I'm going to answer first. And this is going to be real short.
Okay. Why is honesty important in marriage?
The first question is, what is honesty? Because honesty is truth to you.
Uh-huh.
So your truth, which looks like honesty, still can be skewed.
Ooh, now that is true. That is true. Your perception can be skewed. And so, that's a good one.
So I believe it's really not about honesty, but conversation.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, you look at things differently, you process things differently.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times honesty is skewed based upon
your perception. Very good. I had this in a conversation with someone last week.
Who you are.
Yeah, what you
think. And
think.
so even in the moment of honesty, you still have to give the other person space.
Yes.
Not only to digest it, but to process what you're honestly saying to them based upon the way they see it.
Yep, basically. And Jawan, I'll add this, not just in marriage, in general, but in marriage especially, because you can be so honest and so right that you're wrong. And so you have to know and have wisdom as well in regards to that. But your perception is so important, because I could be saying that, oh no, that's purple. His perception is that it's pink. We both could be right in our own minds.
Me and Leah got in an argument almost. I told her, girl, shut up. I'm your father.
About?
A pink car, and she said it wasn't pink.
And
then she said, well, maybe I didn't see it. I said, I know you didn't see it. Shut up.
Yeah. Perception. People have their own perception based on their beliefs, based on how their environment, based on the people in their lives that have influence over them and have those ears, and those people influence how you see and think and feel. And so my honesty and your honesty could be totally different. And the conversation piece, it's not just about honesty.
I like this one word I just got, and it's not even a word. I'm going to make this up.
Make it up.
Heartistry.
Heartistry.
Not honesty, not honesty, but heartistry.
Give me your definition of that.
This is how my heart feels,
yeah.
But it doesn't make it right.
There you go. There you go. Because your heart can be contaminated with issues.
You sound like a book.
Make it a book. Your heart can be contaminated with issues and baggage that you've never dealt with. And so your perception of what I say or what he says can be skewed by all of that baggage and contamination and toxicity that you have that doesn't have nothing to do with me besides the fact that I said this and you took it this way and this is how I meant it, but this is how you perceived it. And your truth is not always the truth, nor is it realistic. And so the conversation piece is, hey, you said this. My heart interpreted that you said this? Is this what you meant?
Because a lot of times in our moment of honesty,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's a form of attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so now instead of breaking down the walls, we're building walls.
Yes. And then some people have delayed honesty.
And another thing is too is that my wife, I tell the truth on me, I'm tell the truth on her.
Okay.
All right, okay. My wife, when she's dealing with business or therapy, she has a very sternness about herself.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, who the you talking to like that?
You think that? I'm just joking. I know.
Oh, she know it. Oh, she know it. But because my mother was so stern and vocal, and because my father did not have a voice or rebuttal, then wow, that's a new revelation, isn't it? And so when she talks a certain way, it would rub me the wrong way, not realizing it was because of how my mother and my father relationship was, and my mother had to be so strong in my life as a male. Yeah. And so when she talks that way, I would shut down and want to like go totally off. Mm-hmm. Like, who the you talking to like this? And God had to deal with me and say, no, from my heart. Yes, sir. And say, she don't mean anything. She is a therapist. Mm-hmm. She is a conflict resolution person. Yes. And so even though the tone reminds you of your mother, but the spirit is not.
Yeah. Yeah. That's important for us people in general. So often we get thrown off by what someone is saying and not the intent of what they're saying. I had this conversation with someone earlier today. Why do you think negatively about certain situations? This is what I do for a living. This is who I am. If I bring something up, I'm trying to help you. Know the spirit of the people that you're interacting with. And again, the very thing that my husband just said, triggers. There's no way I can upset you to that capacity. I didn't do nothing to you. I don't even know you that much or that well. So there's something in you, again, the contamination, the baggage, the toxicity, all of those things in your heart. And now I said something that triggered something that you never dealt with. And now you're honest 6 months or 8 months later, oh, you said this, but I felt this. You have to be honest in the moment. And one of the things we practice is just that. You may not like it, right? Oh, Dieta says she's always been a firm, straightforward person.
Oh, firm, straight.
Thank you, sis. And it's the truth. I've learned over the years to add some sugar to it. A little bit of sugar, a little bit. But you know my heart, and anyone that knows me for who I am, that shouldn't even impact you. When
but
it's time to handle it.
That's not even what this is about.
What?
I used it as an example.
Yeah.
Of heartistry.
Heartistry. Yep.
When you know somebody's heart.
Yep. That's what I was saying.
Oh,
you know my heart. If you know me and you know my heart, they know you and they know your heart, then those things that come to help us to grow, to help you to change, you change your cycles, you change your life. When you learn those things, you don't always have to have a spoonful of sugar with that. Sometimes you just need to just eat it raw.
And I'll say this last thing. It's easier for me to be honest with her when I'm really honest with myself.
Yes, that's true. Very true. Put the mask back on.
It is easier for me to be honest with her when I first take the pill of honesty with myself.
Yeah, that's how you take off. That's how you take off the mask, guys. That's part of why we are doing this. Take off the mask.
And heartistry is important.
Yeah.
Heartistry is important. I made the word up.
We're going to have to get with Merriam-Webster on that one.
And heartistry is important because, truthfully speaking, when someone has your heart, you really don't need the sword of honesty.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You don't need the sword of honesty.
Take off the mask. Thank you, Morris. Thank you for joining.
And so I think that's what it really means, because if you're talking normally, there's no new conversations with old relationships. You have probably said it and they did not hear it or feel it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
There's no new conversations.
Yes.
And so, hardistry takes the sword of honesty out, because when you want to be honest, you really don't want the person to respond. You just want them to conform to your wishes. This is how I feel. You need to straighten this up, dog.
Yeah, that's the facts.
You need to straighten this up, Anthony. Oh, I forgot we got more than just, you got to straighten this up, dog. This ain't.
That's the truth.
You do this one again.
Right, that's it.
It's just gonna be, I'm trying to be honest with you, and I'm trying to use grace, but
Yeah. We don't have those moments as often.
We used to.
Yeah, not anymore.
Oh God, we used to.
Yeah.
I will stop fighting one another.
Absolutely. Think we have one more person to bring on? Let's go ahead and get that last question out there. Hey, Toya.
Hey, family.
Girl, look at them pretty old teeth you got. Look at my goodness.
I paid good money for these.
Okay.
And it looks like it. Believe me. That's not a question. That's a paragraph.
I know.
All right. Read us your question, girl.
So my question is, when communicating with your partner and when there's a disagreement, how do you ensure that you are listening for understanding and not just listening to hear your partner?
Ooh. All right, now. Go ahead.
Part of hardistry. Part of hardistry. I think it depends on the topic of conversation. Honest to goodness. Sometimes I absolutely am not listening to understand. Because there's some things I'm just not going to understand because we think completely different on most occasions. What? But I think it depends on the topic of the conversation. When it's something that my partner is really adamant about and he's gung-ho about this, I'm not trying to understand. I'm just listening. I'm his cheerleader. Yeah, we're going to do it. Yeah, let's go win. Yeah, yeah. But when there's certain things, I like that more, or listening to respond. I think there's 3 different things that you have to touch on. You have to learn to be an active listener. That means you're not even thinking about what you're going to respond. You're just listening to them, and you're showing them that you're listening. You have we can hear all this stuff in the background. Might have to mute. You can hear them with what they're here. Admin team, we can hear the typing. I can't hear nothing else but the typing. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. The responding, so you have to respond to not just hear what they're saying, but you have to listen. And so sometimes I think we're so quick to want to have something to say that we actually are not listening to them, and we might not even understand them either at all. Sometimes it's a difference in just how we communicate. And so I think the conversation that you're having, knowing if it's of great importance, and even if you don't think of it as being important, if your partner is coming to you and they want to talk, I think you owe that to them. to try your best to listen, not to just respond, but just to be there in the moment and be active listening. Pay attention to them. One of the things that I've learned from my husband is I like to multitask, right? And my husband could be having a conversation with me and I can hear him and I can repeat what he's saying, but I may be on my phone, I may be talking to the kids, I may be doing all of that, and he has gotten so pissed off at me where he just stopped talking. And I'm like, I heard you, and I wasn't actively listening to him. It's rude. And even though it was not my intention, understanding who he is, he deserves the attention. I may not understand nothing that he's saying, right? But I should be there in the moment with him. And there's nothing anybody's texting me, calling me about, or trying to divert my attention from the conversation that he's trying to have with me that would take precedence over me being in the moment. And that's part of active listening. Did I answer your question?
You sure did. I have the same issue.
And then what I would add to this is what I had to learn.
Okay.
Is that there's a stark difference between listening to someone's voice and listening to their heart. Their voice can say one thing, but their heart is speaking something else. And so their heart is trying to use their voice to communicate a language that the voice cannot fully express. And what happens is we'll get stuck on hearing the voice, but we never hear the person's heart. And sometimes with men, it's hard for them to express their heart, even though they're talking with their voice.
Oh my gosh.
And so you think that the issue is solved, or it's no issue, or it's a repetitive conversation. But like, boy, bye, get over this. And what's happening is that it's a communication of the voice, but the heart has to be interpreted. And one thing I had to learn, because truthfully speaking, we like two different people. Honestly, we two different people. And so what I had to learn is I prayed. I said, and God gave me revelation. He said, her voice is saying one thing, but this is what she really is trying to communicate to you from her heart. So a lot of times she would talk to me and I would regurgitate it in different words than what she gave me. And I said, I think this is what you're trying to say from your heart. These are your words, but I heard another voice. And this is what your heart is speaking to me. And most of us never get to that point where we hear the person's heart and not just their voice.
Yes, sir.
And I believe that's where we lose our oneness, because I don't look at her as my partner. I don't look at her as my partner. I look at her as my oneness, my me-ness. And so, yeah, we're hearing y'all feedback, so mute, please. And so at the end of the day, that's what I had to learn. And not just with her, when I'm talking to other people, when I'm counseling, God allows me not to hear their voice, but their heart, because their heart has a language, it has a sound, even though it uses the voice of the person. And so you have to reinterpret what they're speaking from a heartish standpoint, and not just from a mental or emotional standpoint. And in order to do that, you have to relinquish yourself of your rights. In that moment, you relinquish yourself of your personal rights, and you become one with this person, so that you now can hear what they're trying to say, and sometimes what they don't want to say, but they need to say. And so, and so at the end of the day, she taught me this. Well, I went to school for counseling too, but I was going for pastoral counseling, master's degree too. But so I learned some of this stuff.
Okay.
But you have to empty yourself of that moment, and you have to take your guards down, because sometimes when you have a relationship of history, and in that history it has been one-sided either way. Now we having another conversation. You got something else to say? You need me to listen to something else? And you want to hit that person, right? Real talk. So now you sitting at the table. This ain't your partner. Y'all like in a legal room. Who's gonna win? Cause I'm tired of this right here. Yeah. She got her to laugh. Honest. Let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. I'm tired of this, man. Nigga, what? I mean, Negro. I'm sorry, y'all. Negro, what? I'm tired. And so, you know, in relationship, it's not about winning. It's not about winning. It's not about winning. And I love what you said, because sometimes when you win, you lose.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you lose, you win with the right person. Yeah. The problem is most people have given up the wrong thing to the wrong people.
Yep.
And then when the right person come along and you have to give something up, then you don't give it up to the right person. And so at the end of the day, in order for this to really work, I can give you one quick story, and I'll drop the mic on this. I was getting on one of my children. I was talking. It was Nathaniel. I was talking, and then he started talking. And I started getting on him. And he said, "But Daddy, this is not about you right now." I said, all right.
That's you taught him.
So say what you feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember, in relationship, when you start fighting, the fighting never stops. Now that was real good.
Yeah.
And that's with children, that's with everybody.
Everybody.
When you start fighting, the fighting stops. Yeah. The fighting never stops. Even if you go dormant and go quiet, the displeasure,
that's that drama spirit,
still is there.
Yeah. Hope we answered your question, Toya. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We're gonna finish out with any additional questions that we weren't able to get on there. If we can have those kind of scroll along and see if we can answer a couple more questions before we do our live raffle. Why is prayer over your partner so important?
I don't like the word partner.
What if they're not married? And they're talking about like someone that.
But it's still, even if you're not married and you doing everything married folk is doing.
That's the correct terminology.
Partner. Okay. Yeah. That's that cool.
It's a new wave.
Listen, I know you married. Okay, but you answering this question for other people. That's fine. But listen, in correct language, anybody you're intimate with, anybody you're one with, they're not just your partner. You can have a partner in business.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a partner in driving.
Mm-hmm.
But in relationship,
Mm-hmm.
we're not looking for partnership. We're looking for oneness. Because a partner can part ways.
Mm. We're looking for the ships.
My part, okay, my part ain't fixing now. So the is gone.
Her.
It's gone.
Nerve. Got it.
And it doesn't matter
Yeah.
what type of relationship it is. What we're looking for is oneness in that partnership. And so, why is praying over your partner so important? And I would probably reword that.
Yeah.
She don't pray over me; she pray for me, and I pray for her.
But praying for you and praying for me, we're one. So it's praying for ourselves.
It's praying for ourselves. So
if you're not praying for your spouse, your covenant relationship, then you're not really praying for yourself.
You know what? I love this question. You know why? Because I really, unless it's a real situation that you're dealing with,
Mm-hmm. You don't pray over me?
I don't pray over you. Because when I pray for us, it covers you.
Mm-hmm.
I have to retract that because I don't pray over her. Now, if she's sick or something, I pray for her, but I don't pray over her. And I find that when she's going through her situations, that as I'm praying for her, I'm praying for me. And so I don't look at it as praying over her or for her. I look at it as declaring the right thing for us.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to look at it.
And this y'all know I don't play no games. This is real talk, y'all. And just the other day, God got on me. He corrected me. And so, yeah, I'm praying over you. I don't know.
Stunning.
Yeah, I pray for us.
Yeah. I don't pray over him either. In that context, it's not what we do. I think it's just maybe the terminology of, but praying for one another, praying with one another, it's reciprocated. If I'm praying for me, I'm praying for him. If he's praying for himself, he's praying for me. So there's never a time where it's just, I may pray extra for him or in certain situations, but it's important because it's part of that oneness and unity, and it has to be both. It has to be both.
And let's drop this, right?
Oh, goodness. Do we have any other questions?
No, let's drop this because at the end of the day, if she see or sense I'm going through something, and she's praying for me, she doesn't pray for me without trying to become what I need in that area.
That is very, very true. Pray for myself to help you.
And I pray for myself to help you. There's a difference, y'all.
Yeah. You know what? I think I understand that. Because sometimes people pray over people.
Because they want that person
you want them to do what you want
become
them.
something.
Yeah. That's not what we operate.
Instead of you becoming the something.
So you get with you, and then that will help them. Oh, here's another question. How important is quality time with your partner? Their partner. It's very important. It's so important that I can't explain how important it is. Why is that? Because before you were a mom or a dad or auntie or any of that, maybe I can't say for everybody, but you and your partner is what started this whole journey that you're on in life. And a lot of times, and I'll speak as a mother, we put our children before our spouses. And as we've learned as parents, your children get older and they leave. And then you're supposed to still have a relationship with your spouse or your partner. And that can be thrown under the table because you're tired or you're this or you're that. And you don't give this person the time they deserve. I used to get upset at my husband because I would say, you are always giving everybody your best and then I get the mess. And until I verbalized that to him, he thought what he was doing was great. I deserve the best and not the leftovers. He deserves my best and not the leftovers. So that means that even if I've worked 10 hours in a day, the kids are asleep, things are not done, and my husband wants to talk my ear off at 11 o'clock at night, guess what? I'm going to put on my bathing suit and put my shorts on and sit there and talk and be exhausted and thank God that he is talking and communicating with me, because guess what? There's 1,000 other women ready to hear him talk. And so we have to make sure that we understand what our spouses are asking for when they want quality time. My husband doesn't have to tell me we need quality time. We do it regularly. We go on dates for lunch and dates for lunch.
And we can sense.
Yeah.
We can sense it.
I plan breaks for us. I plan breaks for me. I plan breaks for him. I plan breaks for our family proactively. You want to plan the breaks so you don't get broken. I just said this to someone else. We do so much. Oh, I gotta work. Okay, that's not what God meant for us to do. He didn't mean for us to work and not have time and not do the things. Yes, we know that you have to work in order to eat, but there's also a time where you're supposed to rest. And quality time is resting. That extra quality time that we have, we make time for one another. It has to be a priority in your relationship, period. That's how our relationship has always been. It didn't start because we got married. We were friends. And we have a friendship.
Yes.
I like spending time with my friend. I may not like spending time with my husband.
Sometimes you don't.
I may not. But my friend, E-Dog 3D, yeah, that's my dude. I like spending time with him. He can put up the other hats. But when it's us, that's our quality time. He don't want to spend time with Mrs. Davenport, Lady D. He want to spend time with his boo thing. And so you have to understand the difference in the dynamics of who you guys are to one another. Yes.
And understand when I was restarting, and this is going to sound funny, living in Detroit, on the east side of Detroit, in the hood. Hood.
Real
hood. We used to have date night.
Goodness gracious.
At Del Taco.
Married.
And we would get the $1 tacos and split the drink.
Yeah, this is married.
Married. Rebuilding. Not having a lot of resources and just trying to do the best we could. Mm-hmm. And so we would go, literally, I'm not making this up, we would get the $1 tacos and we would on Tuesdays, and we would split the drink and go get all the refills that we could. Yes. And so quality time.
We would still do that to this day.
Till this day.
That.
And so a lot of times, I think in our quest to gain, to get, to build, we forget why we're building it. So many couples and partners build great businesses and build great things, and at the end they lose one another.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Jeff Bezos worth $150 billion. And at the end of the day, the woman that helped him build it, they're no longer together. He's dating his friend's wife, ex-wife. And so at the end of the day, I love the question. And she's good at this because once I start working or I do something, I'm just, blind to it. That you have to literally plan it.
Yes.
You have to literally become it.
Yes.
And it has to be intentional.
Oh, that's my word. Intentional.
And this is the last thing I'm gonna say. And she's gonna close this out because we're over time.
Yes.
I said this to her maybe a week or so ago. And I said, she's trying to think what it is.
Right.
I said, sometimes, maybe in 2 weeks, sometimes we spend so much energy giving it away to other people that the people that really need it, we don't have to give it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, like she said, I would give the church or the people my best. Come home with their burdens, their brokenness, and their pain. And I had nothing to give them.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do think that what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?
Yeah.
And what will a man give in exchange?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I said that to say intentional.
Yes. Thank you, Cree. Intentional.
We have to quit. This is what we have to do. We have to quit giving people that don't know us our best.
Yeah. That's this thing.
And the people that know us, we give them our worst, which is us.
Yeah. That's the truth. This series can probably be put into 3 or 4 segments. Honest to goodness. It has been good. It has been really good. And we thank you all for being a part. And the whole premise is this is what, hey Mark, we're gonna do another series on this. Taking off the mask. Right? Taking off the mask. And we're going to do another series on this because this is so important for us. We don't want to hold you guys any longer. We do appreciate everybody for being a part. Love, 3D, Victory for Life, Ladies of Victory. We appreciate all of our audience members for coming on board. We do have one special thing that we want to do. One of the things that we have are, you can see these wonderful things back here. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Queen Bee Services. And one of the items that Queen Bee Services has is these wonderful t-shirts and hats, money bags, and also we have some love t-shirts. So we would like to do a raffle. So Shantae, if you can help us with that, for people that have engaged and asked questions live tonight, including our special guests, let's put them in a raffle. And what numbers should I select? What's say between 1 and 25. The first person to give us a number between 1 and 25. We'll select that number, and that will be the person that gets one of these wonderful prizes that we have here. Let's see what number it is. Dun, 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 dun. 15. Shantae, who's number 15? They will receive one of these wonderful new money bag hats. You will have to get in touch with Queen Bee Services. We'll have that information for you to obtain your hat. Hey, Shantae.
Kelly.
So, Kelly Alexander is number 15. Yay! All that when you get to Michigan, that you will get one of these money bag hats. Do we have time to do another raffle? All right, let's get that next number out there. The next raffle will be Queen Bee. What are we giving away now? You're welcome, Kelly. What number is that?
7.
7. Who's the lucky raffle winner, Shantae?
Morris Lewis. I'm sorry, I'm popping up the comments.
Okay, Morris Lewis. Congratulations, sir. You will win one of these awesome money bag t-shirts. You have a choice of colors. What are those colors, Queen Bee? Green, yellow, white, red, blue, or black. What color do you want, Morris? Let us know so we can get you your t-shirts. And we'll do one more raffle winner. Let us know, Morris, what color. And what's the last raffle number?
22 is our last number.
22.
And
who's the wonderful
Morris
white?
wants white.
He wants a white one.
1 second, let me grab up the next person.
Let's make sure to get his contact information so we can get his t-shirt sent to him via Queen Bee Services. The last one is number 22. Who's the lucky raffle winner?
Danita.
Deanna?
Or I'm sorry, I probably said her name wrong.
Deanna.
The person whose name is on the.
That's the person here?
Yes, ma'am.
Deanna McKinney. We have this last wonderful prize here. We have this manicure set. Can you see that? Can you see that? Oh, we want a money bag. Okay. We'll get you a money bag. You want?
Oops. Sorry, wrong way.
Deanna, we will get in contact with you. Do you want a money bag? You can pick. Has Deanna said anything? Everybody else got something money bags. Let's give her a money bags item as well. That's only the right thing to do. Deanna, if you're still on, you can get a hat or a t-shirt. Let us know which one you would like. Is she still on there, Shantae? We have her information. We can figure out what it is that she wants and get that to her. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. We went over our time, but we are so grateful that you guys all joined us. You continue to have patience. You gave us your best questions. We answered, you commented, you sowed a seed, and you won a prize. So thank you guys so much for being a part of Love Talk Live. We are going to continue with this series probably next month. So do you guys have any questions? You can let us know. You can email us at ladiesofvictoryforlife@gmail.com anytime, any day. Do you have anything else that you would want to say to the people? Thank you guys for joining Love Talk Live. Real talk. We're looking forward to the next series. And if you guys are a part of Love, great. Thank you for joining. We are going to have a sip and chat on Saturday, OG style, real talk about relationships on Saturday, May 1st at 7 p.m. Join us. And remember, at the end of the day, we do all things in love.
In love.
Love.